If you're aiming for a big melee build with big heavy weapons, then Sunder and Wraithguard might be the one for you. This is a one gauntlet and one handed hammer weapon that you need to go and get by visiting Windhelm first, and then hug the right hand side of the city until you get to the corner club. At the end of the bar you'll find a note and it's going to give you the next stage. Pretty much we're going to be going over a bunch of caravans so that we can get inside a dungeon filled with Falmer. This is quite a challenging dungeon and it's a one-way ticket as well. Once you enter this dungeon you're going to have to actually go through, you won't be able to exit the way you came. So the first location is just west of Windhelm. Bronze Water Cave will be the closest point. And on top of the rise you should find the ruins of a car. You're looking for caravan wreckages in each of these instances. Now we've got to find the second caravan. We need to go over to Loris's farm just northeast of Whiterun, and a quick hike across the countryside you'll find the second carriage. Now the final piece of evidence. There's a lot of going back and forth across the map with this one, so definitely not advisable if you're in survival mode. Head over to Whiterun, down into Horde of the Dead. You don't have to go too deep, so you'll only come across a few skeletons. There on the side should be the third set of instructions. Now it's over to Falcon Reef, just to the east hand side, maybe near Peak Shadow Tower. When you get there, make sure you pick up the attunement crystal. It's not that hard to miss, but you never know. And we've got the final location of where we're going to be placing it. The Sightless Pit is just south of Winterhold. This is why it's a one-way trip. You literally jump down. Inside you find a pretty linear corridor filled of dungeons and Falmer, warmongers, and these guys are pretty tough. Not impossible, but there's quite a few of them all throughout this. Remember, you can't actually exit back the way you just came. Most of them will be using some sort of ice damage, so take anything with fire, but there are a couple in here that do have some fire spells. Kinda like their heavy sets of armour as well. Now you have a series of little drops, and eventually we're going to run into a steam puzzle. We're actually going to direct steam to open up the final boss before we get our rewards. There'll be some Chorus in here as well as some spiders along with the Falmer. So like I said, it's pretty challenging. You might want to make sure you've also got some anti-poison stuff too. Keep going all the way through, you can't really go wrong. There's not too many different directions to go. I would say there's probably at least 10 to 12 Falmer and maybe 5 to 6 Chorus and 4 or 5 spiders all throughout this run. Eventually you'll make it into this huge cavern, and I quite like the look of it with the sort of glowing blue crystals at the top of the ceiling. You simply have to follow the path up on the right hand side and all the way along. There isn't a ton of loot. You won't be finding oodles and oodles of chests, although there are a couple here that have the Dwemer sort of mechanics on them that they open up, or the Falmer ones. Eventually, and I would say a good sort of 10 minutes later, it takes that long to get through here and fight them all, you can use the attunement block and open up to the proper vault of the Sightless Pit. So you've got a great big lock gate, and then we've got 2 sections where we're going to need to make the steam kind of divert. So on the right hand side, this is where I went first. You can see the steam coming out, just got to activate the valves so they move along. So that one's pretty much more or less in the same or right position. I am going to show you my mistakes. I'm not going to try and reload it or do anything, and just give you an idea of what I had to face and do. So if you do copy exactly what I did, you'll know you'll get there in the end. There will be some Dwemer spear guards that will pop out eventually when we activate this one as well. So I'm going to turn the middle one again. Obviously we've got to try and get it to the other side. Now it should be on the left. You can see it's coming out the end. So we've got to switch this one now. And then it should be hopefully up the top, and then we've got to switch it one more time, I do believe, so it goes to the middle on the left as well, and that should be it. It should be going to the middle now. Then we can go ahead and switch this one, and since I messed around with that one already, we're going to have to switch it just one more time, and then we go again. On the left hand side, I don't think you need to actually switch this one again, but I think some of them do close the mist off, the steam moss, so it goes up. But like I said, just copy exactly what I did, and eventually you'll get there. And that should be it. It should be open and done. Just head to the exit and you should come across some of the guys popping out like this. Again, not relatively that hard. You're going to face a big giant massive Dwemer guard in a moment. So onto the left hand side, and again we've got a good few more levers to go ahead and pull. Starting off with the corner one, obviously. You can see it there. And I think we might have to press it actually one more time. Although I did go and knock this one over first. and then press this one again. You can see, I think they basically shut off access so the steam goes in the right direction as well. And then press it one more time, it should be coming out the middle. And then we need to go over and press it one more time so it goes to the left. And press that so it goes over to the middle. And then you see it's at the back there, so we need to get over this side. You can see it's on the right, so we're going to have to press it one more time again. And actually, you're going to have to press it one more time to get it to finish the job. I'm sure there's quicker ways of doing it, but this is the way I did it on camera. So yeah, I'm just making sure you follow it, so at least you'll do it. It's not that hard, you'll work it out, I'm sure. So obviously on the opposite end of the entranceway, there will be another doorway and another lever. And now when you pull it, now you've done both of them, it should open up. And we've got our messenger to defeat. He's a pretty big boy. Obviously, if you're not a melee character, just lure him out a little bit and take him at range and kite him all the way around the cage. Remember, I'm pretty high leveled, so even though I'm doing quite low damage, I haven't got the best weapons anymore. They're pretty underpowered. But you can see it still takes a big beating, and I've got help as well, obviously, from my little goblin. Eventually you'll defeat him, and you don't have to worry about doing anything else. Once you get the weapons, that's it, they're done. No crafting, no extra stuff. So worth noting though, make sure you loot the chest that's in here as well, as there is some extra loot inside it as well. And then eventually we're going to go and open up the cage and get our rewards. Now there is a third and final piece that actually goes along with these two items, Sunder and Wraithguard, and that is a sword called Keenan. Well, it's a dagger really, and these were all apparently part of Morrowind back in the day. So the dagger itself is part of the base game, whereas obviously these are Creation Club anniversary content. So if you do want to go and get the third final piece, I haven't included it because it is a base piece, you just need to go and complete the Arniel Gain quest. He's one of the mages at the Winterhold College, and he pretty much asks you to return him some cogs, some Dwemer cogs, like 10 of them, then some gold and some other quests. So if you really want to go and get the sword to match it, then that's what you need to focus on. It is a pretty long, tedious quest in different parts, hence why I've not included it as this, and like I said, it's base game stuff. So, what about the actual Wraithguard? Well, you can see here, resistance shock, fire, frost, magic, disease, and poison by 10%, and it gives you extra bonuses for the Keenan blade, and of course the mace, which is technically what you've got in your hand, it's not actually a hammer. The Sunder mace itself does 5 points of frost, fire and shock damage each. Also does 15 points of damage to stamina and magicka as well. So I think this will go perfectly if you've got a dwarven character that you're working on. Now the exit point isn't as clear, you just got to basically go back to where it says open the abandoned cave, and there should be a little anti-cave chamber now where there'll be a barred door that you can open and eventually get out. You just got to go past the actual stone here, and you should come along to it before you get too further back deep into the cave system. There's the doorway there. Unbar it and you are free. Honestly, probably one of my new favourite weapons that I will definitely be using in future. I presume you might be able to enchant them or improve them as well, so you get even more out of it. Yeah, definitely recommend Sunder and Wraithguard. And there we go, another armor weapon combo done from the Creation Club content or free as part of the anniversary edition of the game. Hope you enjoyed it. Check out the rest of my guides and content and my survival live stream series, and I'll see you ratbags later.